My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. I've done a lot of runs recently that have got that kind of tinge of going for the achievements. So let's just have a normal kind of silent run. How about that? How about a bit of just a normal silent run? 50% of your maximum HP is not a good thing as a silent. In fact, it's kind of garbage. Choose a card to obtain or 3 max potions. 3 potions could be pretty good. How many elites are we going to go for? 1, 2, 3... 3 is my maximum. Alright, we'll take the 3 potions. Dex potion, ancient, and block potion. Okay, could be pretty good. Hit up as many question marks as possible, as is our standard affair. Both of them have 19 HP, which makes it impossible for me to kill one of them quickly. Wow, not good. Very bad opening for us. Just in terms of being able to kill them at any reasonable pace. Alright, 2 strikes kills next turn. Ancient's not better than any of those other ones, and... take a copy of Piercing Wail. Golden Idol, don't mind if I do. I'll lose the HP rather than the max HP, because the max HP would take 5 away from my current HP anyway, because I was on full HP. So it's only taking 12 damage to get the relic there. I would love to take Panache and then take this in that direction, but we didn't really get the opportunity to do that much, so... we'll go with a card removal on a defend, because I'm going to immediately replace it with a blur. Upgrade a blur and a defend. Pretty damn good. This deck is now much more equipped to be a defensive deck. That said, that is always there's always the big concern with the defensive deck. Where do I get my offense? Because you can't just defend until an enemy is... I should have used the block there, by the way. I just wasted 5 block from the possibility of having 5 extra block this turn, although it wouldn't have been necessary. But where do you get your damage from? Because you can't just outlast an enemy unless you're doing some damage somewhere. And if we're going to be dedicating ourselves to blocking, and it does look like that's the kind of general direction we're going to go in, then a power doing all of it for me is a good thing. Obviously, Noxious Fumes is the kind of super obvious choice. But past that, I'm actually going to Piercing Wail here. It not only burns the Piercing Wail out of my deck, but it's also going to remove all of the vulnerability on all my enemies. The vulnerability of the artifacting, so that I can now hit them with Neutralize. But we want some damage, right? Noxious Fumes is a way to supply that, but in my opinion, more interesting way to supply that. Actually, going to use the block potion here. I'm going to try and perfect this fight. A more interesting way to use that would be... damn it. Oh, no, wait, we do have actually block for this turn. Beautiful. Would be a 1,000 cuts. There we go. I just took a billion years, but I eventually got it up. Alright. 8, 31, 41. With the amount of days in our deck, yeah, I don't think we can do it. I was just predicting a turn like this would come along. That's unfortunate. Spent a potion here trying to make this a perfect fight. I'm kind of glad to see the idol here. That is to say, the golden idol, enemies drop 25% more gold. It's just going to let us be a lot more choosy about what we do in shops. And remove more cards, which is always handy. Alright. A lot of this fight is just taking this long because we don't have an offensive deck. I didn't actually need to play the Survivor there, by the way. The blur giving me 8 block and maintaining that block until the next turn was always going to be enough. 2 strikes, please. Never mind, I'll just take a wee bit more damage. Even the Dex potion wouldn't have saved me in this fight, by the way. Strawberry, raise your max HP by 7. Pretty happy about it. That's also my current HP raised by 7. A strength potion is also really, really handy. And a dagger spray gives us a little bit of damage. I'll upgrade that dagger spray even before the neutralize, because if we run into another sentinel fight, it is super important for us. Really? This is a bad hand. I wanted to have a fully aggressive hand. Sadly, looks like that wasn't going to be possible. Alright. Hey, we got a neutralize there. Beautiful. I'm going to take this 13 because it's going to be real difficult for us to live through the harder times here. So I need to do as much damage as quickly as is possible. Beautiful. Juzu bracelet, regular enemy combats and no longer encountered in question mark rooms, and Wraith form is a difficult deck. But you know what? Let's do it. Regal Pillow, heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. This boss fight could easily kill me. I could duck off here, but then I'm going to have like 1 dead shop and no more question mark spaces. Beautiful. Just got to keep myself alive between dagger sprays. That's it. Try and get them all around equal health so that they'll all die to the same dagger spray. Perfect. I'm fully defended this turn and next turn. Thank you, Blur. Just trying to get them all on relatively equal health so that at any point I can decide to kill any one of them. I can take that 8 this turn. I mean, if I was going to be playing the block anyway, there's no reason to kill the enemy that's going to effectively be doing nothing to us. Beautiful. Prayer Wheel, non-boss chest now also contain cards and a lot of bollocks. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I can't take that. I've got other cards that I'm going to need to remove much more pressingly. I'll rest here because I'm not interested in dying. Okay. I'm effectively just choosing here to fight an elite so that I can... Damn. I'm effectively just choosing here to fight an elite so that I can get an extra relic. This is probably one of the worst elites I could find, though. Thankfully, they're not yet trying to make me vulnerable. Alright, that happens this turn, I guess. Might kill next turn. And we do. Alright. Girya, you can now gain strength at rest sites. That's good, and we've gotten it early enough to use it effectively, but also... Aww. I want to be more defensive with this deck. It's got to be remove strike. Alright, against the Guardian, we should actually be fine, so we actually just upgrade one of our cards. Let's smith the neutralize, get the 2 turns of weakness. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, thanks for that. Really wanted that other strike there, I guess. Also wanted to save the Piercing Wail for a better turn, but apparently not. And all of my defensive cards on that turn. Thank you, game. Not really appreciative. There's the double hit. I'm rarely, if ever, going to find a turn where I can play that Wraith form, unfortunately. That's why Wraith form is a difficult deck, because it has so little impact for the amount that you have to invest in it initially. Not having weaken or the damage. Look, if I don't play Wraith form now, I'm never going to play Wraith form. But not having any impact when you play the Wraith form and not having any reasonable impact for quite a while is why it's a really difficult deck to get to work. You pretty much have to have way too many resources for it to actually be effective. Yeah, I'm probably just dead here, right? Huh. 1 HP. Don't mind if I do. Yeah. Wraith form decks. Can't say I didn't try. I should pretty much just play defensive cards and try and get back to my blur all the time. There we go. Okay, we got a weaken there. That's actually super handy. Caltrops also would have been really good in this fight, but I was hoping not to need Caltrops. Guess I should have rightly seen that as optimistic, because it is. And now I'm dead. No, wait, I had some blur from last turn. Okay, we're not dead. Shows you how vulnerable we are, though. Okay. Defend. Just set myself up with as much block for the next turn. If we end up getting through this with 1 HP, I'm going to go insane. Next turn's pretty garbage, though. Thankfully, we had a weaken already applied. And we are dead. Needed either of these 2 cards instead of all of the 4 attack cards. That was a really poor draw there. Ah, well. Really unfortunate that we couldn't find, you know, good defensive cards like Dodge and Roll or Cloak and Dagger or better weakness cards. Not Sucker Punch, but like Malaise also would have gone for that. Escape Plan, Noxious Fumes, Footwork. Like, there's a lot of things that we were looking for on that floor, and we got offered very few of them. Alright, let's go for the lower level Ascension again. Because I haven't done it in a while, I will explain why I am playing on Ascension 1. Ascension 1 gives you extra elites. I just like that as a playstyle, just having a bunch of extra elites to fight. I'm going to remove 2 cards here. Beautiful. Thin down that deck. There's a 3 elite path. Okay. Now you may rightly be thinking, Rhapsody, you don't need to fight all of these elites. I know. But I fight them to get an early benefit, and then that early benefit carries me through the late game. Rather than not fighting any early elites, not getting an early benefit, and then just fizzling out near the late game. Let's take a well-laid plans. It's just a nice pickup. Shuriken, Grand Finale. Both out of my price range, unfortunately, but both pretty damn good. In different decks, mind. I could take a Bouncing Flask, or I could try and thin down my deck a little bit more. We do have a well-laid plan, so Bouncing Flask is better. because we can just save it for when it's useful. Alright. Let's go Burst Bouncing Flask. Anytime I go to a shop and I don't remove a card, I actually feel actively bad about it. It's like one of the strongest things you can do in the entire game. I'm just purposefully ignoring it. Feels bad. Beautiful. Energy potion, gain 2 extra energy. All of these are poison synergies, but my poison in this deck that I want to really be going for is not going to be I attack them or I apply a lot of poison using small hits. It's going to be I use Bouncing Flask to apply my poison and I survive between applications of Bouncing Flask. That's one of the best archetypes you can go with for the Bouncing Flask. So we'll be removing attack cards because Bouncing Flask is our damage. This deck is going to have a lot of difficulty against Gremlin Knob, especially. So I'll likely try and save my potions specifically for that fight. And literally, beautiful. Any draw should have guaranteed lethal there. No. All of those are cards that you take after you've already defined a build that would need them, rather than beforehand. Sure. And then we keep neutralized to make sure that we weaken next turn when the enemy's actually attacking. Hell yeah, we might perfect this boss. Or not. I can try and perfect this boss. It would involve using my draw potion. Yeah. No, I'm still probably too slow. Hold on to the neutralize, because applying it now wouldn't have done anything there. And yeah, this is too slow. Beautiful. By doing that, I can guarantee they're going to die to Bouncing Flask next turn. Actually, I didn't even need to use that final attack. I could have easily gone with a defend there, saved myself 4 HP. Omamori, negate the next 2 curses you obtain. That allows us to play taking a lot more risks, which is quite nice. That is risks in the question mark spaces. Okay. Now I know you're going to be attacking next turn, so I've already used my neutralize and my survivor. So I knew that I wanted to hold on to a defend just in case. Goodbye forever. Dex Potion's a great pickup for us. Reflex? I have a way to discard. I really wish that I'd got the Shuriken in the first shot, because then I could take Blade Dance here, but without the Shuriken, can't really take the Blade Dance. We need to upgrade the Bouncing Flask and the Neutralize as soon as possible. Regal Pillow, heal an addition of 15 when you rest. Really not interested in that. Darkstone Periapt, whenever you obtain a curse, he'll increase your max HP by 6. I think that technically you obtain a curse and then it's negated. You negate the next 2 curses you obtain. So I think the Darkstone Periapt will trigger, even though the curses get negated. Damn it. I really wanted the question mark places, and it looks like they are betraying me by being god-awful. Yeah, I don't need to use an energy potion here. I could save myself 8 HP with an energy potion, but I don't think we're going to have that much difficulty with this fight. I definitely don't think we're going to have that much difficulty with any of the fights after this. Beautiful. Footwork would be lovely in this deck. Burst, obviously. Noxious Fumes, obviously. Trying to think of non-obvious pickups that would be lovely in this deck. By definition, they're the harder ones to think of, right? Because they're not obvious. Good. Alright, I've got a neutralize and I've got a survivor coming up in my next hand. And now I can actually poison these enemies. That's 14 incoming attack. Damn it. Without Noxious Fumes actually constantly applying the poison, I don't have inevitability in this fight. I am going to have to fight tooth and nail for every bit that I want. Alright, well. Should have maintained a defender, actually. Just got a wee bit tilted by the fact that I wasn't going to get a perfect in this fight either. Don't want to hold on to any of those, thank you. Nor any of those. Bouncing Blast neutralized. Defend, strike the front line. Best I could do. Keep the strike, I guess. I played them in order of priority, so the final one not playing wasn't a big deal. It's the least impactful one to not play. Don't draw the Bouncing Blast. Don't just poison the front target. At the very least, they shared. Should have maintained the survivor there as well, but again, tilted. I really wanted a perfect to fight on this floor, and I don't really have much going on yet. I desperately didn't want to have to just do value picks. And I've avoided doing that. At the very least, Bouncing Blast is going to get me past the first floor, but the second floor can be god-awful. At the start of each combat, gain 1 strength, thanks to Vajra. Like, I can't even stack much poison right now. Corpse Explosion is not good yet. Alright. Take a wee bit of damage here as well. The boss is actually going to be probably a lot easier than most of the enemies we've fought on this floor. Just for the sake of being single target. Thanks for the slime, my dude. And goodbye, Spike. Dodge and Roll is a nice value defensive card. Smith and Neutralize to get the extra turn of weakness. May use the Dex Potion in this fight. May not, but may. I will use the Poison Potion to get this party started. Alright, if I use the Dex Potion, I'm actually safe this turn. If I just focus on building up this poison stack and defending myself, we may well be okay. Might actually perfect this fight. It's my hope. Hold on to the survivor. Next turn's not a big hit though, right? Yeah, it's tiny. We're fine. Again, we'll hold on to the survivor. This is exactly what I want. This. The ability to stack that poison and just watch as the enemy perishes. A lot of decks that make value picks would have more difficulty against the Hexaghost than we did, because we had, thank you, burst. That's exactly what I wanted, because we had kind of like a deck archetypical purity. Sure, Cursed Key. Don't mind if I do. Negate 2 curses, and they'll give me max HP anyway. Perfect. And that's extra energy, which is going to mean that we can burst, play a defense, and also use the Bouncing Flask. We need to upgrade the burst as soon as possible. So that we can burst 2 different things at the same time. This isn't fair. I don't even get to... Don't even get to defend. I've only been removing strikes from my deck, right? Right? I can't even get through their armor, so there's no reason to attack. And they're dead this turn anyway. Bye-bye. I want to shop. I can have it super late if I go down in this path. Thanks to the well-laid plans, I will actually just be able to hold my burst until the right time. Unfortunately, this enemy is going to punish us. Please use like a weaken this time. Nope. That's not a weaken. And I'll hold on to this defend. Thank you. Enemy's dead in 3 turns. How's that for inevitability? Beautiful. And now the enemy can't actually do anything to harm me. I love these turns where they're dead, they just don't know it yet. The Ancient Potion, footwork. It's 1000% footwork. Like, Cloak and Dagger is good, but footwork is goddamn amazing. Heal 21 HP actually isn't that bad here. How many cards would I even add to this deck? Like, I would remove a lot of cards from this deck. Would I add that many cards to this deck? Probably not. I want to take the 21 HP, especially because I've got 2 elites coming up soon. Should have used a strike there. I forgot that I had 4 energy. Beautiful. And... dead. Heck yeah! Take a fire potion. Acrobatics. They're not really what this deck does right now. This deck poisons enemies and leaves them to die. Remove a card from my deck. Don't mind if I do. Quite pleased about it, in fact. That's going to be another strike out of here. Sure. I am going to Bouncing Flask. That was wrong. I should have played 2 defends and kept the survivor so that I had a more concentrated defend later on. Alright, there's my burst. I do pretty much have to keep this for the right turn. I've got a neutralize coming up in my next hand as well. It's gonna make the defense much easier. Beautiful, we're defended. And then we get to burst a Bouncing Flask as well. Hell yes! Everything going perfect in this fight so far. This fight has taken a while, which is going to make it rough, but thanks to our weakness, it's manageable. Hell yeah. Alright, finally we got a perfect going on. I love it. Bye forever. Smiling Mask. The merchant's card removal service now only ever costs 50 gold. That's handy. Dex Potion is way better than Ancient Potion for us. Leg Sweep is a really powerful card. Like, extraordinarily powerful card here. We can even burst it. Yeah. Too good to pass up. I realized pretty quickly there that I needed to get out as much damage as I possibly could as early as I possibly could, because that cultist in the front line is going to be in a right royal annoyance. So that was all just to set up my decks and get me some extra block for next turn. Hmm. 9 and 9. I can just play the defend, keep the leg sweep still. Sure. Like, frontliner is a single stab away from dead. I'm not too sad about this. I don't like that I keep putting days into my deck, but it's kind of necessary. Uh-huh. Neutralize. Here I'm actually going to burst our leg sweep rather than the Bouncing Flask. Make sure the enemy is weak from now until Doomsday. So the Gremlin knob on the first floor punishes us for playing skills. This enemy punishes us for playing skills on this floor. But I don't think there's an enemy on the final floor who's going to punish us just for playing a bunch of skills. So I think once we get to that final floor, we're actually a lot better off than we are here currently. Good gosh, though. This is a hell of a lot of damage. Enemies as dead as I can make them. Goodbye forever. Energy potion, probably slightly better than explosive potion for us. I'll take the second one. Here's where explosive potion would have been way better for us. I need to hold on to the Bouncing Flask. If I don't just burst Bouncing Flask at every available opportunity, we're then going to die. Extremely not keen on how that one went. Okay, 9, 12. I'm actually fully defended here already. But if none of them die this turn, this guy is going to attack. But that's actually fine. It's fine if he does. Beautiful. All of them are dead. Now I just need to hope for good defensive cards next hand. Good. 16, 17. Yeah, we've got it. And we get to continue 8 into the next turn. Hell yeah. Really unfortunate that the goddamn Gremlin leader is still... Oh, beautiful. Bouncing Flask plus burst on that turn exactly. Thank you. I was about to say, he's still not poisoned, but they are now. So there goes that complaint. Okay. I'm fine with being weakened. Wow, wow. That, huh? I didn't think you were going to do that much damage. I severely miscounted the amount of damage they were going to do versus my amount of block. I thought I was fine there. Huh. 33, 9, yeah. This is rough. We're going to take some damage here. Alright, backliner is dead next turn. With a deck like this, we were never going to be able to just keep up by killing all of the small gremlins. So instead, I just needed one good turn where the gremlin leader would get ridiculously poisoned. And eventually we had that, thankfully. Kunai, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. Nope. None of that, though. Bag of Preparation. At the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. Unfortunately, it looks like Darkstone Periath did not trigger. Maybe if I had Darkstone Periath before the Omamori, it would trigger. I could have sworn I've seen that trigger before. We'll upgrade the burst so that we can burst the defensive card while bursting a Bouncing Flask. Speaking of, that front line is probably going to buff in the next turn, and then the turn after attack, so it's dead. It's actually already completely useless. Thank you. Ooh, that vulnerability is not handy, though. Hold on to that dodge and roll. Frontliner is dead. 12 and 12. 12 and 12 is 24. 12 and 12 and 9 is the... We're actually 1 short of killing the Chosen right now. So I'm just going to play as many defensive cards as I possibly can that turn. Yeah. And now we're safe to guarantee that you're dead this turn. We haven't killed you this turn, mind. We've guaranteed that you're dead. If I had the Necronomicon, I would take dash, but I don't have the Necronomicon, so I'm not going to take dash. It's as simple as that. Quite glad that I got the extra dex from Kunai there. First Bouncing Flask has to happen, otherwise we're just not winning this fight. It's the way that we deal damage. It would be so damn good if we could pick up the relic known as Snecko Skull. Snecko Skull, every single time you apply 1 tick of poison, 1 stack of poison, it increases that stack by 1. And since the Bouncing Flask applies 4 times, it would be 4 extra poison from every Bouncing Flask. and then burst the Bouncing Flask, that's 8 extra poison. That's really impactful. All right, do I want to go to the shop or do I want to go for another elite? Another elite actually might kill me. I'm going to go for the shop. Jax, ugh. So, there is something to doing a strength build here, but we literally have 3 attacks in our whole deck, so Jax is not worth it for me. Catalyst, Bouncing Flask, both amazing. Singing Bowl is really good as well. Lantern's really good. Good lord. I mean, Lantern's really good because we have backup preparation at the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards, and we also have the Ring of the Snake at the start of each combat, draw 2 additional cards. So our opening hand is 9 cards large, which means that extra energy is always amazing for us because our opening hand, we're just going to be able to play a bunch of cards regardless. When an enemy has enough poison on it, we're usually just fine anyway. So Corpse Explosion isn't really that good for us. It's also worth noting that we don't have Bouncing Flask stacking a bunch of poison on one single enemy. Like, if we are fighting a bunch of enemies and we need area of effect, like Corpse Explosion, Bouncing Flask is already going to be bouncing among a bunch of enemies, so it's not going to be effective with Corpse Explosion, right? Corpse Explosion is good when you have one way to stack a lot of poison on a single target, or your deck doesn't stack enough poison but can utilize Corpse Explosion to deal a bunch of damage at the very end as a finisher. It's really not that good in general. Lantern's amazing. Card removal, remove another strike. Now it's just like Bouncing Flask and the Catalyst or Singing Bowl. It actually may be Catalyst, Singing Bowl. Yeah, it's Catalyst, Singing Bowl. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It's called the Singing Bowl. All right. And do I maintain burst or cat? Yeah, definitely burst. Burst the Bouncing Flask and then use the dodge roll. Easy. And then we also get to maintain the leg sweep for later so that we can weaken at the right time. $23 poison already is pretty damn ridiculous. I'm actually going to save the Catalyst here because I might just burst Catalyst at the next available opportunity. Yeah. Because that's going to trigger at least twice. Oh, damn. If I can just defend against this, we've actually got a perfect here. Beautiful. Goodbye forever. Quite glad I picked up the Catalyst there. Adrenaline is the best pickup I can make here. Rough. Yeah, probably none of these, I'm gonna be honest. Take the max HP. There's the Snecko Eye, not the Snecko Skull I was looking for, unfortunately. And all but 2 cards in our deck get worse with the Snecko Eye. Probably just take the Black Star. Or I could just take the Orrery and then turn down every single card using the Singing Bowl, get myself 10 max HP. That's actually pretty good. Huh. Upgraded Bouncing Flask. Alright, we'll skip. We'll see. Oh, that's freaking footwork. Okay, well, that's skip. That's skip. Malaise is huge. Footwork is huge. Noxious Fumes and Bouncing Flask are both huge as well. Take a copy of Noxious Fumes. I have to upgrade most of those. Oh, really? Did it have to be? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I've got 4 skills that I'm going to be playing in the final fight. 4 skills, rather. 4. Powers. Alright, I'm gonna malaise you and then hold on to the burst. This is gonna be rough. Well, at least I'm not taking any damage this turn, I guess. Kind of worked out. Keep the bouncing flask. These fights were always going to be the worst ones for us. Well, at the very least this turn I get to hold on to the catalyst. I got a burst coming up. We do need to upgrade catalyst as well. Good lord, we have so much we need to upgrade. Beautiful. Catalyst kills. Hell yeah. Goodbye forever. Ancient Potion's a nice pickup. Those are though. And we're going to start removing... Another freaking footwork. We're going to start removing some of these powers from our deck so that the Awakened one doesn't destroy us. Or rather, just doesn't make us as sad as it has the capability to do. 130, 130. Alright. We'll hold on to the catalyst. Still haven't even got my bouncing flask out. Courtesy of all of this garbage they've been putting in our deck. Weaken you. This enemy's gonna explode. I just don't have the up front. Oh, that's really hard. Maybe I just shouldn't have taken this fight. Yeah, I should have just been clever enough to know to leave this one well enough alone. Especially with a thin deck, the amount of junk they're putting in my deck is ridiculous. Well, at least the front line is dead this turn. Ouch. Hell of a lot of damage. I'm still taking damage. I have played nothing but defensive that turn. All right. Beautiful. We easily could have died with the bad draw there. Ginger, you can no longer become weakened. Handy. We don't really have that as a necessary effect in our deck, but that's fine. Again, we'll remove another thing from our deck. I can't remove the well-laid plans because that's how I keep my bounce, my burst, and my catalyst to really play with one another. I guess I just remove Noxious Fumes. Now I've got to dodge as many elites as possible. Okay. Pretty good opener, I feel. Really do want to upgrade this catalyst, but it's going to be a long while before I can afford to do that. Are you kidding me? I double burst you for a ridiculous amount at the start of this, and I'm still gonna take damage this fight. What garbage. Thank you, Regal Pillow, for making that rest actually quite effective. We'll hold on to the burst. Unfortunately, I'm about to have 4 days put in my deck. Footwork, burst. If I don't use the bouncing flasks now, I am just not going to win this fight. Ever. Because I don't have the noxious fumes to even do it anymore. So I'm taking 17 damage this turn just so that I can get that pitiful amount of damage out. Well, time to take 30 damage to the exploder. I'm frankly astounded. These repulsors are doing nothing but just filling my deck with days. Like, there is no chance that I draw anything. Four cards in my next hand are going to be dazed. And again, I don't have a choice here. At least this one is going into a larger sized deck, so I'm not guaranteed to draw all of them. Alright, there's my leg sweep. Hold on to that leg sweep. 2 turns away from safety. And we are here. Beautiful. Gonna need another rest soon. Yay! Dodge and roll would usually be amazing. Sure. Heal to max HP. Lost 10 max HP there, but I got back to full. Orichalcum, if at the end of your turn you don't have any block, gain 6 block. We have block at the end of pretty much all of our turns. Thankfully, since we got the HP there, we now have the ability to upgrade this Catalyst, which is pretty much just going to be our win con. Alright. Probably also should have thrown the melees in there. Like, you can look at this and go, Corpse Explosion would be really good to give you that little bit of AoE, but it's like, Corpse Explosion would be 14 damage to everyone, and it would purge the poison. It just doesn't do enough to pay for itself. Gotta keep the Bouncing Flask until I have some burst. There we go. Alright, hold on to the Catalyst because I think I'm gonna need it to kill one of the frontliners. Like, I might be able to manually kill one of them, but the other one's gonna have to die. Ooh. Oh, never mind. We good. We good. We good. Alright. 2 of them die this turn, and then this one dies before anyone regens turn after. Beautiful. Now... none of that. A lot of what I'm doing here is turning down cards just religiously to get this Singing Bowl max HP, because it is super, super important for us. The Awakened One's minions are going to be an absolute bastard. Take 1. 2. Really? Alright. Make a life a lot more tedious than I thought it was going to be there. Fine. Don't want to have to discard one of those days back into my discard pile, because then I have to draw it again. Extremely not pleased about the amount of days these goddamn repulsors are putting in my deck. I swear they didn't used to do it this often. I don't know what's happened. It's like they've been ratcheted up. Alright, fine. Although, what's the next hand? Yeah, mostly garbage. Beautiful poison, and now just give me not that. I was thinking more something along the lines of poison. Hey, there we go. Ridiculously slow game. I can't do this without footwork. I can't do it without well-laid plans. I'm going to take an energy potion here, just so that in the final fight... Also going to rest. So that in the final fight, I can burst a giant malaise. Not really what I was aiming for there, but... Let's get that weakness stack up. Hold on to the footwork, because I will need to play it as soon as possible. Paper Crane would have been ridiculously good in this build, turning out with how much weakness I actually apply. I'll hold the malaise. It is going to be as large of a malaise as I can throw on that back line. So -8 strength and -14, or rather 14 turns of weakness is going to make this fight a lot more handleable for us. That doesn't mean we're going to win. Time Eater we would have definitely won against. Dono and Decker probably would have been a rough fight. I can see that. Dono and Decker probably wouldn't have gone down without a real battle. Okay. Hold on to the Catalyst. We're going to need to do that for the second form of the Awakened one. That's why I'm also holding on to the Poison Potion, by the way. Because that's when we're going to have real difficulty here. The 2 points of difficulty in this fight for us were always going to be taking out the cultists, or rather surviving through the cultists, and the second form of the awakened one. Beautiful. Burst that bouncing flask and the dodge and roll. Very, very reliable turn, that. Super pleased about it. We'll hold on to the burst this time. Okay, because I just need to be ready to burst Bouncing Flask or burst a leg sweep for the weakness. If I could only do both. You can get the weakness applied via that. I'm going to take a bit of damage here, but it is really important that I get these Bouncing Flasks off as soon as possible. So I basically allow myself to take 7 damage here. The catalyst. So now that's what we're holding on to. And I definitely have burst in my next hand. In fact, I have burst, bouncing flask, and catalyst. Void. Unplayable. When this card is drawn, lose 1 energy and it is ethereal. Should have known I was going to draw that. Okay. There's another void, so I am actually just going to have to burst the catalyst here, and the enemy is dead. 450 poison. Don't mind if I do. Goodbye! Oh, that was a long damn fight! 964 damage is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Highlander, deck contains no duplicates. That's 100. That is a lot. We got 2 perfects. Unfortunately, the final fight was not perfect, and it was really never going to be unless we were fighting the Time Eater. We did get Overkill, and we got 1 Trigger of Champion. That could have been a lot higher with just a final perfect. We're getting a lot of fights now, a lot of runs now where we perfect 2 bosses and then we don't perfect just 1. I'd like 1, just 1 where I perfect all 3 bosses without having to have some sort of broken combo already going at the start, like a, you know, dual wield dropkick, dual wield flash of steel kind of thing. For the moment though, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you next time.